The great 16th century poet Alexander Pope once famously stated, "To err is human." Today, we're going to talk about the top 3 dumbest things I've done off-roading this 2021 Lexus GX460. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today I'm going to talk about the top 3 dumbest things I've done off-roading this Lexus GX460. Quick disclaimer, none of this is going to be skill-based, so it's not going to be about, oh, I should have taken this line or had this sort of tire or done this off-roading. Instead, it's going to be more related to things that anybody can understand at any skill level. In other words, this is not going to be related to the materialistic nature of the car or damage to the car. Instead, it's going to be related to something more important, which is your safety. This is just metal, plastic, oil, and rubber. It can be replaced, but of course you can't. So let's jump right in it. The first dumbest thing I've done off-roading this Lexus GX460 was going off-road with a half tank of gas. We were about to go on a casual, short off-road trail, keywords casual and short, and I looked down at the gas tank and noted that the GX only had a half a tank of gas, and I figured, that's great. It's only a short, minor, small off-road trail, and it's relatively close. I don't need to stop and get gas, so I'm good to go. Well, what ended up happening was that was the day we high-centered this GX460 on this transmission oil pan with a half tank of gas. So what ended up, what was supposed to be a short or relatively short off-road trip, a casual one at that, turned into a rescue mission. We had to call for help. We had to get dug out. We had to, remove the high center, and in doing so, it was very stressful because the car was idling to keep us cool and to keep the electrical systems going and to attempt to free ourselves, and the gas kept dwindling down. So this added to the stress, obviously. So that is the first dumbest thing I did, which is only use a a half fill-up of gas. So always have a full tank of gas before you go off-road, because you never know. Let's not even say you never know. That is, according to Murphy's Law, when it's going to go down. When that one day you don't fuel up and you only have a half a tank of gas, that's the day you're going to get high-centered and need to get rescued, because that's exactly what happened to us. All right, let's move on to the second dumbest thing I've done off-road in this GX460, and that would be not understanding the map I'm reading or misreading the map. So one time we took this GX460 to what I thought was going to be Pilot Rock Truck Trail up in the San Bernardino Mountains. It was rated as easy, and I casually glanced at the maps and thought I had enough information required to do this trail. Well, what ended up happening is this Pilot Rock Truck Trail actually bifurcates or splits at the very beginning. And if you're not careful and go the wrong way, you end up, instead of going on an easy trail, Pilot Rock Truck Trail, to an advanced Black Diamond Trail, which is 2N17X. And that's precisely what we did. So thinking we were going up this easy trail, we ended up going up 2N17X, this Black Diamond Trail, simply because I didn't read the map correctly or fully understand it. So map discipline is something that you have to have. Now, of course, I've gotten better, and I try my best to understand and read the map. But let's face it, you're going off-road. These maps aren't clear. Google Maps doesn't show you everything. Your off-road software may not show you everything. You bring up a satellite image and it may not be clear. So it is part of the risk reward system of off-roading. But try your best to understand exactly where you're going and look at it and understand it on a map the best you can, because we went up 2N17X, white knuckled, thinking we were going down this easy trail, going, this really doesn't seem like an easy trail, now does it? And it was simply, a misinterpretation of the map. And we ended up going up this Black Diamond Trail, and yeah, that's, understand the map, because you can easily go from an easy trail or a moderate trail, take a wrong turn, and be on a very difficult, sketchy trail. That is a reality. It's not like driving on, nope, I just took a wrong turn, I'm just, I'm on easy street, just headed the wrong direction, but I'm easy street. When you're off-roading and take a wrong turn, it can get sketchy real quick. So map discipline. All right, the third and final dumbest thing I've done off-roading this Lexus GX460 is not having recovery gear with me. In other words, I went off-roading down Little Morongo Trail one time, not carrying any type of ropes, any type of, what do you call them, shackles. Things like that, of that nature, and I think I might have had one small shovel. My point is, without recovery gear, it ended up being a very, very dumb move, because you could probably already guess what happened on that day. Got high centered again. So our second time getting high centered, and the reason why it was so dumb, or why it's on this list, is because we got high centered, and relatively quickly another person in a Jeep, another off-roader, came by ready to pull me out, but I didn't have any recovery gear. I didn't have any ropes, basically, for him to attach his Jeep to this GX and yank me out. All I needed was to get yanked out off this high center, and I could be on my way. And I didn't have any ropes, and kind of ironically, neither did he. So he didn't have any recovery gear either. So take from that what you will. But without any recovery gear, he said, okay, I'll turn around and head back into town, but it's going to be a few hours. If you're here when I'll get back, I'll be back with ropes, and he'll pull me out. And sure enough, that's what it was. But it turned a potentially 20-minute recovery, because he was there right as we got high centered. So if we had ropes, he could have yanked me out, and that would have been the end of it. It turned a 20-minute recovery into a 4-hour recovery, because that's how long it took him to get into town, get his ropes, come back up the trail, find me still there. At this point, I had dug out as much as possible, hook up the ropes, and in 2 seconds, he had yanked me out. So travel with your ropes. Now we keep ropes, recovery points, all that stuff in the back. So if we do get stuck and somebody does come around, we got all the stuff. All we need to do is hook each other up, and away we go. And of course, it works in reverse. If I see someone else that's stuck, I can yank them out, and the whole thing goes down quicker, and it changes. It's the difference between having a great day and having a bad day. Okay, so those are the top 3 dumbest things. Now, to err is human, as Pope said. Making mistakes is part of the risk-reward deal we take off-road. We know we're going to come in with some sort of risk off-road. It's not about being perfect. Nobody is. It's about simply learning from other people's experiences, and hopefully you'll learn something from this, and you won't fall into these same mistakes at least as often. Yes, mistakes are going to happen, because quite honestly, as Pope said, you're not human, you're not living, you're not in this reality unless you are taking those risks and making some mistakes. It's part of humanity. The moral of today's video is to try to limit them as much as possible within reason. If you found this video helpful, please remember to like and subscribe. Thank you, and have a great, great day.